What is up, agents? This is Wrecker, back with another build video. Now, I wanted to make a really good LMG build with this gear set, as in my opinion, the buffs and specific attributes this gear set offers really help out LMGs in particular, because that's the most prominent weapons type which suffers from longer reload speeds, low rate of fires, to name a few. But I didn't really have a good LMG in mind to set it up with until the new exotic LMG Iron Lung came out with the new season. So I thought, why not put the pieces together and see how it performs and share it with you guys and see what you guys think about it. So yeah, with that being said, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and now let's begin with the build breakdown. Okay, so starting off with the specialization, we are running the gunner spec here for this setup because it's an overall very good specialization, especially for LMGs. You're getting 10% armor on kill, faster rate of fire, weapon handling, all that good stuff, but also ammo every 60 seconds, not only for you but for teammates. And don't forget to stack in that weapon damage for your right weapons tree. For us, that's an LMG, of course, primarily, and an SMG. So that's what we're running with this setup. Okay, so starting off with the weapons, of course we are running the Iron Lung LMG primarily on this setup that came out with season 2 year 5. Now this LMG is a really good weapon when it comes to base stats. So what I'm talking about is we're getting 800 RPM and 85 in the mag as a base. Now mine is sitting at 127k base damage. That's because I have expertise rank 10 stacked up on it. That's why you see an additional 10%. For the third attribute, I would highly recommend running damage to armor. So do a few rerolls and get that damage to armor as the third attribute. For the talent that it comes with, it's called Ardent. Shooting heats up the weapon, filling up heat meter. The meter is equivalent to 50% of the weapon's standard magazine. When the meter is full, rounds shot by the weapon ignite enemies, and not shooting, the meter depletes over time. Reloading or swapping the weapon fully depletes the meter. Now in short, what's happening is once you're halfway through your magazine, it's gonna give you fire bullets basically. Okay, that's gonna ignite your enemies on fire, and if you reload or swap to another weapon, it's gonna disable the buff, so you have to start over. So that's basically happening. When it says when we're node shooting, it's going to deplete the meter over time. That's not going to be happening at much that I've noticed, because the only time you're going to be switching over or reloading a weapon when you're out of ammo. So basically you will be reloading, and only then it's going to take your stacks away. So yeah, that's why this talent goes very well with the gear that we are running, because that's going to give you faster reloads, faster swap speeds, all that good jazz, so that we can keep shooting as long as possible. So yeah, that's the primary weapon we are running. For the secondary, it doesn't really matter for me. I normally run my Dark Winter just in case if I need that, just to have a different weapon archetype as a secondary. So yeah, these are the two weapons we are running on this setup. For the sidearm, doesn't really matter for me. I always run my Orbit just to gain that additional crit numbers whenever I need to. Just pop an enemy, switch back to your primary, and you will have 35% crit chance and 40% crit damage for 15 seconds. So that's really good talent to run. Okay, so starting off with the gear pieces, of course we are running 4-piece Umbra Initiative gear set here. The 2-piece gets us 15% crit hit chance. The 3-piece gets us 30% reload speed. Now these are really good attributes, especially for an LMG, because usually LMGs are the ones who lack these attributes: critical hit chance, low rate of fire, and reload speed very long. So that's synergizes very well using this gear set with LMGs especially. That's why I wanted to make this build later on when Iron Lung came out, because that's a new weapon and that can work very well with this gear set especially. So anyhow, the 4-piece is the main gear set talent for this gear, but in short, instead of going through the description word by word, let me tell you what it does in short. Okay, so while you are out of cover, it's gonna give you defensive stacks. So what that means is, while you're out of cover, it's going to give you 50 stacks, 10 per second, okay? And at full stacks, it's going to give you 0.8% armor regen when fully consumed per stack, right? So if you are playing out of cover after gaining all those stacks, when you were in cover, it's gonna give you increased rate of fire and increased crit hit damage here. Now in total, when you stack it up to 50, it's gonna give you 50% crit hit damage on full stacks and also 1.5% RPM, right? So you just have to focus on getting in cover and getting out of cover. So if you want to kill the enemies fast with that higher RPM and increased rate of crit hit damage, just go into cover, stack it up to 50 stacks. It's only gonna give you 5 seconds until you're fully stacked. Get out of cover, start shooting, okay? That's when basically you're utilizing your increased rate of fire and critical hit damage, 50%, right? But while you're doing that, you're actually gaining your defensive stacks. So the only time I go back into cover, it's for example, I'm getting hit and now I need my armor back, right? So since while I was out of cover shooting and killing enemies, I already gained my defensive stacks. Again, 10 stacks per second goes up to 50 as a base talent here, right? So when I go back into cover, it's gonna give me my armor back, right? For all those stacks that I gained. So that's basically it, all in all, for this gear set talent here. Okay, you do not need to focus on any descriptions or particular numbers. Just if you want to kill the enemies fast and with an increased crit hit damage, just go into cover, gain stacks, start shooting out of cover, right? And while you're shooting out of cover, it's gonna give you defensive stacks. You get hit, your armor is low, go back into cover, it's gonna give you your armor back. It's as simple as that, okay? But the reason why we are running the chest piece for this gear set is because it's gonna increase your numbers, basically doubling your stacks. Same as strikers, it's gonna get your 50 stacks to 100. So basically doubling our numbers in this. So now we're getting from 50 to 100% crit hit damage, from 1.5 to 3% RPM, and same goes for the defensive stacks for the armor regen. So that's is the reason we are running the chest piece. Very important piece, so giving you double the numbers. So I would highly recommend running the chest piece here, okay? Now for the attributes, it's an all red build. We are running weapon damage, crit hit damage, and a crit hit chance mod in here. For all other 3 pieces for the gear set, we are running all reds, as I said earlier. Weapon damage, crit hit chance mod here. Same thing for the holster, weapon damage and crit hit damage here. And same exact thing for the knee pads, weapon damage and crit hit damage here. Now for the gloves, I have chosen to go with the contractor's named gloves here. This makes sense because not only we are getting multiplicative 8% damage to armor with this glove, we are also getting the brand bonus of 10% LMG damage. That synergizes very well because of course we are running the Iron Lung, that's an LMG. So there is no better option to run here than these. So I would highly recommend running these gloves here. You will gain intense amount of damage here, okay? As always, we are running weapon damage, crit hit damage, and of course the special attribute that it comes with, 8% damage to armor. Okay, for the backpack, that's the last piece on this build here. It's a new one actually that just came out with the Year 5 Season 2. It's from the new brand set that's called Lengmo. It's called the Backbone named backpack here. It's going to give you 20% explosive resistance. Now that's not too crazy. I understand when it comes to running all red crit builds, these bonus brand bonus isn't very good in my opinion, but still it's nothing to sneeze at. We are getting 20% explosive resistance that can actually save you a tiny bit of armor if you're getting hit by any. But the attributes we're running: armor, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and a crit hit chance mod here. But besides the attributes, the main reason we are running this backpack is because it comes with the all new talent that dropped with the new season. It's called Perfectly Unstoppable Force. So killing an enemy increases total weapon damage by 7% for 15 seconds. Okay, it stacks up to 5 times. Now grenade kills add 2 stacks. So in case you kill an enemy with a grenade, it's gonna give you 2 stacks, right? Now this is very good, okay, because since we are killing enemies as fast as possible without stopping, because that's what the Iron Lung LMG forces us to do, okay? is to keep shooting. So we keep shooting, keep killing enemies, we will be retaining our stacks, and that's a huge duration, actually 15 seconds. The stacks for this talent are very easy to maintain, I'd say that. So 7% each stack, that's a huge chunk of damage there, right? As you will see in the gameplay, you will be basically melting enemies on heroic, any directives. It works really good. So that's the backpack we are running in this build. For the skills, that's personal preference. For me, when I'm playing with this build, I run the defender drone, because it just gives you, because the talent itself of the gear set pushes you to play out of cover in order to basically gain your offensive stacks, as I explained earlier. So having a defender drone instead of healing hive or anything else, it's really better, because you will be gaining back your armor anyways if you are in cover. So there is no point using a healing skill, but if you want, you can run that. But for me personally, for my playstyle, I run the defender drone. The mods that I'm running is 7.5% deflect duration here, 10% health, and plus 6% damage reduction. For the secondary skill, again, that's personal preference. I personally run the Reviver Hive in case I go down, but that rarely happens. You can run a decoy or anything else that you prefer. For me, that's a Reviver Hive. We are running 10% Reviver armor, 5% range, and 10% health here. Okay, so before I show you the full build, the overview, let me show you the stats real quick. We are sitting at 127% base damage on our Iron Lung, 49% crit hit chance, 137% crit hit damage here. Now keep in mind, these are only base numbers. The gear set itself is gonna give you an increased 100% crit hit damage when fully stacked, so keep that in mind. 105% headshot damage, 14% armor damage. That's really good. That's a multiplicative 14% armor damage on an LMG. That's crazy good. And don't forget, lastly, we are sitting at 12% damage to targets out of cover. Now keep in mind, we are getting range, reload time, reload speed. You see 40% reload speed bonus here. That's crazy good, because on an LMG, you will see in the gameplay as well, you will be able to reload your Iron Lung really fast. But as a base number, if you were not running this gear set or any other attributes that can expedite your reload speed, it takes a long time, because as you see here, 4-second reload time is a really long time if you think about it during gameplay. So yeah, having a faster reload is really gonna help. So these are the stats for the entire build. Okay, so this is the full build, everyone. We are running the gunner specialization. As a primary, of course, we are running the exotic Iron Lung LMG here. For my secondary, I'm running my Dark Winter, and the sidearm is my Orbit, but you can run whatever you prefer. For the gear pieces, we are running 4-piece Umbra Initiative gear set, including the chest piece to basically double our numbers for the gear set buff. For the gloves, we are running the Contractor gloves for that multiplicative armor damage. And lastly, for the backpack, we are running the new Lengmo backpack here. It's called Backbone, and that's gonna give you the new talent, Perfectly Unstoppable Force. That's 7% weapon damage per enemy, stacks up to 5 times. That's a really good talent to run for a damage here. For the skills, I'm running my Defender Drone and the Reviver Hive, but that's personal preference. You can run whatever you prefer. So that's basically it, everyone. I hope you like it. Try running this build. I really enjoyed running it. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.